we are back playing my favorite game of all time. I'm so excited. Guild Wars was a part of my formative teenage years. It came out when I was 14. And we are celebrating the 20th anniversary, which ages me. It dates me a little bit. But Loranity, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I've seen her. She streams Guild Wars 2. She is put together this community playthrough of the original Guild Wars 1, which came out in 2005. And so I'm excited to be a part of joining in on that event and streaming and playing through Guild Wars 1. And so she's created a schedule to kind of pace people through the original campaign, which is the Prophecies campaign. There are 2 other campaigns, Factions of Nightfall, and then there's one expansion called Eye of the North. So we're going to try to pace ourselves a little bit to stay on the schedule for the 20th anniversary event. And then if people like watching these sorts of streams for Guild Wars 1, we can play through, you know, the future expansions, whatever it might be. So we're going from me not knowing anything about World of Warcraft as an MMO to I know a lot about Guild Wars 1. I know a lot about it. So I'm going to do my best to explain things as I play through it, because a lot of people haven't been exposed to Guild Wars 1 and how the game is played. So if at points I'm repeating myself, or if I'm not explaining things and you guys are lost at all, feel free to type in the chat and ask questions about like what's going on. A lot of what I know about the game is kind of just second nature at this point. And so if I'm doing things that don't make sense, feel free to ask, because I've played through this game thousands of hours I've put into Guild Wars 1. So I know it pretty well, not to like come off as someone who's like actually, but I'm gonna do my best here to make it a fun, enjoyable stream experience, because I'm not learning the game. I know the game very well. So I'm very excited though to play through it. I haven't done a full playthrough in a long time. I can't believe it's been 20 years. What a great game. So I don't know if the game itself is officially like in its anniversary phase until later today, but I got excited. So I bought a fresh new account to start. And the reason I did that is because when you unlock skills for your characters to use, they're unlocked account-wide. So I wanted to start fresh so that because I've basically unlocked every skill in the game on my main account. I have a couple of accounts, actually. And so I wanted just a completely fresh, brand new account. Nothing's unlocked except for the campaigns to play through. And we're going to work our way through and kind of play through and have some fun. So, very excited. Should be a blast. I highly recommend Guild Wars 1. It's really interesting because it is kind of an MMO and kind of not. It's very reminiscent of Diablo in the sense of all the towns and outposts in the game are instanced. And then when you leave a town or you leave an outpost with your party, you get your own copy of the map. So every combat zone is instanced for you and your party and your team to kind of make their way through. And then once you enter a new town or a new outpost, that's where people kind of are together and make teams and stuff. But we'll get into it, but there's a henchman. There's a henchman and hero system where you can add NPCs to your party to kind of fill the gaps of your team if you can't find players to play with. But the point of this anniversary event is to play through the campaign with people again. Because the game is 20 years old, the population has changed to a point where most people play solo. They play with NPCs because you can customize them and everything. So my very first character I ever made was a warrior. So we are going to play warrior. These are the 6 original professions: warrior, ranger, monk, necromancer, mesmer, elementalist. Very different from Guild Wars 2, if you guys have played Guild Wars 2. Very much needing healers and stuff like that in this game. So there is the traditional monk healer class. There's not so much a tank. Warriors are tanky in the sense of they wear the highest armor value in the game, but there's no taunting in the game. So a little different than something like World of Warcraft, where your tanks have a taunt, they have aggro, that sort of thing. That's not a part of this game, but there is classic healing, there's protection, damage mitigation, that sort of stuff. So our warrior, our very first character we ever made in Guild Wars 1. So, so you are required to have 2 words in the name. So anyone who's been watching the WoW streams, we have a character named Coop Zerker. So we're gonna name him Coop Berserker, or we can name him Coop Zerker. A little alluding to our WoW playthroughs. The Coopinator. I think we're gonna go with Coop Berserker. Alright. He lives. Cooptimus Prime.
The last day dawns on the kingdom of Ascalon.
We're watching cutscenes.
It arrives with no fanfare, no tolling of alarms. Those who will remember will speak fondly of the warm morning breeze. People carry on with their daily lives, unaware that in a short while...
Hey, Graham. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Everything they have ever known will come to an end.
Scribe?
Yes, my lord.
These Char are relentless, but we shall hold the wall at all costs.
Yes, my lord.
Take this message to Sir Titus. Go forth and recruit the strongest, the smartest. Bring to me the bravest in all of Ascalon. Find me the heroes who will lead our kingdom to glory.
Fun fact, when this game first released, their mouths didn't move. They added, when the last expansion or the last campaign came out, they retroactively went back and made all the characters' mouths move. Have you ever been to South Carolina? Yeah, I used to live in Charlotte. There's our boy, Coop Berserker. But yeah, look at, I mean, for a 20-year-old game, looks pretty good, right? All right. It feels a little different than, I've been playing so much WoW recently. All right, Sir Titus. No, the town crier wants to talk to Sir Titus. He's got some good news for us. All right, 100 experience. Look at all these people in the starting area. The game is alive and well. Guild Wars 2 is much more action-focused, like dodging and all that stuff, and so the controls, a little more simplistic. You can't even, there's no jumping in this game. There's a jump emote, you can type /jump, but other than that, there's no jumping. There's no Z-axis, really. All right, so we do have some direction. So these, when we have a quest, oh, this is my stats. When we have a quest, we can select a quest in the log, and it'll put a green marker on the map. So you can see the green thing, which is telling us to leave the town. We have to go to Lakeside County, which is a zone. So now, when we leave the town, we're going to get our own version of the map. So now it's just us, and we won't run into anyone. All right, Coop Berserker. I was asked to see if you learned what it means. See to it you learned what it means to be a warrior. All right, we got to go kill some scale. All right, what's our quest log telling us to do? We have to clear the river of scale. Oh, so the other thing that's different is monsters don't respawn. Once you kill something, it is donezo until you reset the map. All right, so we cleared the scale. All right, so we are getting 500 experience and then 2 skills. We're getting Frenzy and Healing Signet. All right, so Frenzy, you attack 33% faster, but we take double damage. So a little, very dangerous skill to use. Exactly what a Berserker needs. And then Healing Signet, which heals us for 82 health, but we have minus 40 armor while we use it. Alright, we gotta find Devona. We did pick up some quests. One is Adventure with an Ally, where it wants us to... It basically is teaching us how to team up. And if we do that quest, we'll get a Resurrection Signet, which lets us resurrect one time unless we recharge it with by killing a boss or getting a boost. Let's grab this. Yeah, are you in Ascalon? We can run it. I can run in and do that real fast if you're there, so we can get the res signet. All right, I'm running back, and then I'll turn in the flute to Gwen. All right, I sent you a team invite, so oh, there you are. Let's go. Boom. Okay, so since we teamed up, now we have a resurrection signet. All right, I can turn in this too. Nice. All right, I'm gonna run to Ashford Abbey, which is the next like little town. It's not even a town; it's an outpost. All right, and then I'm supposed to talk to Devona, which I think she's over here outside the. Oh, she's right over there, outside the barn. All right, I'm gonna do monks. Do you want to do monks mission with me? Okay, so we just got monk skills. So there are some quests we can do here in the tutorial area. It's teaching you about dual classing or dual profession. So we have our main warrior skills, and now we've got 2 monk skills. One is Bane Signet, which deals 26 holy damage, and then we got Orison of Healing, which heals for 20. And the quest we're doing we're going to get like some relic, and we got to keep Paulus alive here. Yeah, we can do the Necro quest after this one. We just couldn't pick it up. I couldn't pick up the Necro quest now because it would overwrite my monk skills, and then we'd be in a bit of trouble. We're going through like this poison water, so we have this health degen. We got swamp water. We gotta keep ourselves and him alive. So this is just kind of teaching you a couple things. One, it's teaching you about how your health can degenerate if you have certain conditions on you, and then about healing other characters. All right, we kept him alive. Did I get all the... I think there's one more brazier up here. Okay, yeah, this is the last candle I needed. All right, now we can grab the Necro quest that's down here, because we don't need the monk skills. And then so what it's doing is there's quests that kind of get you exposed to other profession skills, and then you get to choose a secondary profession to have. So now we're going to do a Necromancer quest that's going to give us some Necromancer skills. This is a resurrection shrine, so if we were to die, we would resurrect here. Alright, so now we've got Necromancer skills. So we've got Life Siphon, which is a Hex. Target foe has -1 health degeneration, and you have +1 health regeneration. So if you see these little arrows, these are basically the speed at which you regenerate. So warriors have the lowest mana pool and regen for mana. So casting on a warrior is not great, but you can still pump a little bit of stuff out with their mana pool. So if I cast Life Siphon, so now I have a +1 health regen, and they have -1. All right, ding, level 2. So we can now put points into our attributes. Most of them. So strength is our primary. So since we're a primary warrior, we get access to strength. And every attribute point in strength gives us 1% armor penetration. There's also some skills that have an attribute tied to it. So for example, Healing Signet is tactics. So if we increase tactics, that green number will change for Healing Signet. And we're going to wait. We're going to save the 2 points. You can change your attributes. You can add when you're outside of a town, but you can only subtract when you're inside a town. So you can completely change your attributes whenever you want, as long as you're in a town or an outpost. All right, so we can summon, because there's some corpses over here, fleshy corpse. One of the necromancer's skills is summoning, or animating, they call it. And the animated things, they have natural health degeneration. And this is kind of like a little puzzle, because if we were to walk onto this flame geyser, we would die. But what we're doing is we're summoning a minion with this corpse, and then the minion is going to come to us and activate the trap for us so that we can continue. Alright. Boom. Super weak to cold damage, I think, so. The way drops work in this game is monsters drop things, and drops get reserved for players randomly. As opposed to in, like, WoW, where you roll for it. That roll kind of happens behind the scenes automatically. Do I do all profession quests? I probably won't. I'll probably just grab Monk. Because, I mean, I'm not trying to hit level 20 in pre-searing, so I'll probably go outside and grab the Monk profession. Alright, so you grab Necro. Okay, so you'll see, I just show as W2, so I'm a warrior level 2. So Breaker chose Necromancer, committed to Necromancer as their secondary profession, so then they now show as Ranger / Necromancer. And I'm going to go outside, and I'm gonna lock in Monk. But if you wanted to gain more experience in the tutorial area, you could go do all the different secondary profession quests to kind of learn about them. Alright, so we're going to turn in the Monk quest and then become a secondary Monk. Alright, which now, as a secondary Monk, we get another Monk quest for Smiting Prayers. And then we'll find some warrior quests too. Alright, let me see what we have here. Alright. So I was just asking if they were ready to leave, because when you leave, it's going to zone them where you're supposed to go. So I'm just going to run over and do the Monk quest real fast, because it's like right over here. And then we can go talk to Devona. I'm going to heal. Alright, I don't think we saved any of the farmers. Did we do the quest, though? Travel to the fields north of Ashford Area and dispatch skeletons. Oh, we got to kill the rest of the skeletons. Alright, see, so 2 bones dropped, and it says assigned to Selvala Breaker. So that's kind of how that works. I'm just going to run up here because there's a collector. So the collector merchants, basically certain monster drops, they'll take in for trade towards items. I'm going to see if this collector has an armor piece for my class. They do, they got gauntlets. Okay, so I need 3 baked husks, which are dropped by these worms. So I'm going to try to get that so I can get a bit of an armor upgrade. Hey, Scholar, how you doing, man? Okay, so we got 1 baked husk. 2 more and we can get the gauntlets. Ooh, nice, another one dropped. Baked husk. Boom. We got 3. Alright, I'm going to grab the gloves. I didn't even look to see if it had a weapon upgrade for trade-in. Alright, so we'll trade in for these gloves. Nice. Alright, so we gotta go talk to Devona. Can we not do the Miller Upton one? I guess not yet. We can do the worm problem, though, because that's over in this cave. Right now we're protecting Fadden. He's collecting eggs. So the Symbol of Wrath is like an AoE pulsing thing. Are either of these upgrades for you? Any of these bows? 5 to 7 or 4 to 6? Oh, I can't drop items within the first 24 hours of account creation. RIP. Just kidding. I can't give you anything. It's just to help stop botting and stuff. I can't even pick up items dropped by other players for the first 24 hours. Yo, rip. Alright. We can take the Devour Egg back. Yeah, I was gonna say, these guys drop seeds that... I think one of the collectors collects the seeds for armor. So whenever you see, like, this misty looking portal, this means it's a new zone. So if we were to go through that, the map we're in would reset, basically. Oh, another collector. What do they want? Ooh! I need Grawl necklaces for a new chess piece. Cool. We got to remember that. Grawl necklaces. All right, and then I think he's going to take the egg over and lure out a giant worm for us to kill. Deleted. Oh, it's too bad you can't give me that shield. Alright, I gotta go back in to turn in stuff. Hey, ding, level 3. Let's go back to Ascalon and grab... There should be a bunch of quests that should be available now.